What's up guys, Meredith with ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we're looking at the Oracle Flush Mount LED taillights with the black housing and tinted lens fitting all 2018 and newer JL Wranglers. Now the factory taillight styling is somewhat boring, and if boring is what you're looking to avoid when it comes to building your JL, this set will be sure to not only switch up the styling, but it's also going to be great if you're in search of a dark taillight to add more of that contrast to your rig. Now, these are also going to be very functional for the off-roader who wants mods that will tuck into the Jeep and stay away from any damage that they may come in contact with on the trail, and really for any JL owner who wants some better lighting performance to turn some heads and bump up their visibility at night. Now the main characteristic of this set is the low profile or the flush design that will stay out of the way of branches and brush when you're out on the trail, and really just have that non-traditional feel and add that to the back end of the JL. Now when the taillights are off, you can see that these are going to have a deep black appearance to the light, which I think really adds a great contrast or that darker look, especially with other brighter colors. Now when they're on, these will have a C-shaped red LED bordering the side of the taillight for all of your taillight functions, with the exception of the LEDs in the middle, which will be bright white for your reverse lights. Now all of the LEDs here will produce brighter and cleaner lighting than the factory halogen set, which will make you a lot more noticeable on the road when it comes to safety purposes, and will help when it comes to backing your JL up at night, even on the darkest of nights, to make sure that you have full visibility of what's behind your Jeep. Now these are going to have a tough plastic housing. The plastic is going to have an OE texture finish to it, which I really like. It's going to match with any other OE accessories that you still have on your JL, but you do have the option to paint these. I've seen a lot of customers paint the actual plastic portion to color match them to their paint code. Now the inside, or this lens here, is going to be smoked. It's going to be that tinted lens as it says in the name, but it's also going to be hard coated and UV treated, making it very resistant to weathering and fading, and keeping that new appearance to the lens for years to come. Now the setup is also going to be completely plug and play. As you can see, this will have factory style wiring harnesses to make it super easy to create that custom feel on your build. Now with them being super low profile, you also are getting a red reflector included in the kit if you want to put this on the side, just to make you a lot more noticeable when you're driving around at night. And it does come with some automotive grade adhesive, so you can ensure that it's going to stay on the side of your JL. Now this set will come in at roughly $450, putting these more at a premium price point compared to other choices in the category. Now there's not going to be many flush options very similar to this set. Now these are very well built with quality components, while again remaining plug and play, while other flush custom taillights may require a little bit of modification to get those on. Now I think if you want that non-traditional appearance to your JL but want an easy and high quality way to do it, these are going to be right up your alley. Now install here will be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. It's probably going to take you about an hour or so to get the job done. I wouldn't be surprised if we got it done a little bit sooner with some basic hand tools included. Now at this point we can head over to our shop and check out a detailed breakdown on how to get these onto your JL at home. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and get into that install.
Today we're going to use any size ratchet, electric or manual, a 10mm socket for removing the bolt to the headlight, a Phillips head screwdriver to remove the housing off the back of the stock taillights, as well as a flathead small screwdriver just to remove the cap to get to the bolt to remove the taillight out.
Hi, today I'm going to be changing out the stock taillights on my Jeep Wrangler Sport S and upgrading them with a set of Oracle flush mount taillights. You're going to start by removing the cap that's up here with a flathead screwdriver. First, start by using your flathead screwdriver. Any size will work. Pop this cap off. Next, you're going to take your ratchet along with a 10mm socket. And then that should just pop right out. There is a wire in there that gets in the way, so just use a flathead screwdriver to help get it out around the wire if you need to. After you get the screw removed with the 10mm socket, your tail light should just pop out, then give it a little wiggle. there's a red tab on the wiring harness in here. Should just click right open. Otherwise, you can use your flathead screwdriver if it's giving you a little bit of a problem. Push down on the tab and remove the plug. And then there you have your taillight out, ready to install your new flush mounts. Once you do get the taillight out, you will have to remove 3 Phillip head screws on the back of the housing and switch that over to your new flush mount taillights. Once you get those screws out, the housing should pop right out. There is one retaining clip on the back here. And that should just pop right off. Once you get the back of the housing off, just remove the factory wiring harness by sliding it right off. You can go ahead and get rid of those 3 Phillips screws that you used for the stock taillight because Oracle has provided new screws to fit onto the new taillight. Take your new taillight, your new screws, fit the housing onto here. And then take your 3 new screws, get them screwed back in with your Phillips screwdriver. Once you get all 3 of the screws in, just go back and make sure you got them snug. Don't over tighten them. These taillights came with the resistor already attached. If not, you will have to use the clips to attach the resistor to the new taillights. I believe these also come with 2 connectors depending on which vehicle you're using them on. For this one, we're going to use the bigger of the 2 plugs to reconnect. Make sure you get this in the right way with the tab facing up to go towards the direction the red clip is. Once you get that connected, push the red clip down. Once you have the plug connected, I'm gonna go ahead and take some small zip ties just to zip tie this resistor and extra plug a little bit out of the way. That way you don't have a bunch of extra things hanging around to get tangled up or caught on any place. Now we're going to install the taillight back in to your Jeep or whatever vehicle you're installing these on. Get them lined up nice and flush where they're supposed to be. And then we're going to go back to installing this bolt we originally took out up top here. Now when you go to put the white 10mm bolt back into the taillight, make sure you hold it with your other hand. So you be careful not to push it out. You wouldn't want it falling on the ground or breaking or anything like that. So just hold it with one hand to be safe. Take your ratchet, 10mm. Also, if you do not have a 10mm socket, you can use a torque bit to remove that. That comes with your Jeep, so everybody should be able to have the correct tool to get these removed. Once that's nice and tight, we're gonna go ahead and pop the cover back in. And there you have it. The new taillight is installed.
So that's going to wrap it up for my review and the install of these Oracle flush mount LED taillights with the black housing and the tinted lens fitting all 2018 and newer JL Wranglers. And you can find these right here at extremeterrain.com.